What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Purple People Podcast. My name is Kyle Smith. I'm so excited to have you all here today. And as I predicted, I told Adam before we started, I wonder if you guys are going to hear every car that breaks, the buses outside. I'm in a new spot. If you followed the show forever, you know where in the world is Kyle Smith like Carmen Sandiego. But we're here. We're ready to talk about the NFL season starting tonight with the Chiefs and the Lions. But Adam is here. No Kyle West today. I'm glad you're joining me, man. It's good to have you back.
Thanks. I am still in the middle of a little bit of the dental procedure, so I'm not talking quite normal yet. But I'm here, and I'm going to talk Vikings football with you guys, so thanks for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate you toughing it out, man. I know how that is, especially like getting wisdom teeth out and all that fun stuff. So I told Adam I'll take lead on talking. You'll hear me talk a lot today, but Adam's going to chime in because he always has – I think the smarter of the three of us, and you always have the wittier things to say for us. But I'm going to do the meat and potatoes today. And first thing we're going to talk about on the show, this is episode 529 of the Purple People Podcast. Shake your money, Baker. Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers. Never thought I'd hear that combination come out of my mouth. But I don't know. I like the fit down there. I think that they have something to prove now that Tom Brady's gone. I think that there's any team that needs a quarterback that has something on their shoulder always. Baker Mayfield that carries that, that kind of swagger with him and that kind of attitude. I don't know how I feel about him as like one of the 32 best. I think he's at the very end of that now. He hasn't really shown a bunch. I think he also had a bad rap in Cleveland, but nonetheless, Tampa took a shot and they're going to try their hand with the Baker Mayfield experiment, and good luck to him every other week of the season except this coming Sunday. Skolds
Baker had one real nice game with the Rams there that really made him look like he was going to be a star again. So the potential is there.
And I feel bad. You go to Cleveland, they're just such a – I don't want to call them like a poverty franchise. You can't tell the story of the NFL without Cleveland, but they are a tortured fan base, even more than us. And it sucks because he was on the team that led them to a playoff victory over a division rival. Like, it doesn't get much better than that. And then he's kind of cast to the wayside. I don't think that Freddie Kitchens was a great selection at head coach. We know Hugh Jackson was awful. So I think he wasn't dealt the best hand, but I don't know. Oh, this is great. Let's start it right off. We're going to talk about an extension first before we break down the game. But Sergio Moreno says, my predictions is Kirk Cousins throws for 5 touchdowns this Sunday. I like that, man. I love a bold take and a bold statement to start the show. That's pretty sick. I think he could throw for 3 and start off really hot. I think with the addition of Jordan Addison to the team, picking up where an aging Adam Thielen left off, TJ Hawkinson just got his new deal. I think the offense is going to hum.
Have you heard anything about Hawkinson's back since the extension?
I haven't heard anything.
Weird.
I know that I believe Troy Dye. I have to look on the report, but I listened.
Yeah, he's the only one on the injury report.
He's the only one. So, knock on wood, we can keep that going.
So I guess Hawkinson's okay. Signing that contract made his back feel a lot better.
Well, when you get that kind of money, you can afford really good health care. So good for him. I don't want to poke fun at him. I want to be clear on this. Not that anyone cares, and I know I probably sound like a baby, but I had an ear infection earlier this year, and I had them a couple years ago. Ever since COVID, my ears have been just annihilated, and it throws everything off, like equilibrium-wise, if it's really bad. So I understand that. For a guy that runs around, you probably need that. But I think it was funny, and Kyle and I talked about the TJ Hawkinson extension on the show. I think it's hilariously petty that they had the $1.25 million to make him the highest paid. I think he's worth it. I think he's top 4, Kelsey, Kittle, Andrews, and Hawkinson. I think that's the order. But just to add that little extra in there. But you're right, Adam. I think that's behind him. It's not like he didn't come to camp at all. So I'm not worried about that part of him. I wish he would have gotten a few more reps, but he's a big part of the offense too. But back to Sergio's point, I won't go for 5. I think Cousins can throw for 3 easily. And I'm excited to see the wrinkle of how the Buccaneers decide to play against the Vikings offense, because they have pieces at every level and they're pretty high-end pieces. So it's going to be very interesting to see what their game plan is to start. If I were them, I would probably double team Justin Jefferson all day. That'd be kind of smart, but we've seen teams shy away from that to start, and then they end up paying for it pretty quickly.
And Minnesota's got some good weapons this year outside of Jefferson. And as much as I loved Adam Thielen, he just wasn't it for the Vikings last year. He wasn't getting it done. And KJ Osborne was being a good number 3. And when Hawkinson came in, he absolutely played right into that role so well. So I'm excited to see what it's all about.
Here we go. We were just talking about betting before we started. Adam and I, we usually get in early before the show and chat and say, what's up? How's life? I need him too because of the Vikings -6 and over 45.5. Now, this one I can take. I can take the over 45.5 because that breaks down to, 24-24. I mean, it's the NFL. I think this should probably be the standard for most games, even though some games will be a kind of a snooze fest. It's just driven to make the points go higher. We'll see. I will give a shout out to Luke Braun. I watched today. I love Locked On, sports, their whole network. I particularly love Thursdays, and I'll direct you guys there if you want to nerd out on daily Vikings content. But he had the guy from the Buccaneers, Locked On Buccaneers today, and they do a talk. And it's nice that people who cover two different teams, this isn't the comments section on Twitter or Facebook. These two guys know the team very well. They discuss things in a nice, orderly fashion, and I appreciate that part of it because it makes you learn instead of just screaming at another fan and calling them stupid. And it was nice. And the first thing that got brought up was Vita Vea versus Garrett Bradbury. And that I don't like that matchup at all.
No.
I'm hoping that Kevin O'Connell's mind is a little bit better than Todd Bowles throughout the whole game on how to get him protection because Vita Vea is a monster defensive lineman. And we know Garrett Bradbury struggled, especially pass protection in the past. So we'll see interesting matchups, too, from a former Vikings son on the Buccaneers, Super Bowl champion, Antoine Winfield Jr. Really wish that the Vikings would have scooped him up. That would have been a cool story. I know the guy's initials are CD, like a compact disc. I forget his name, but their corner, they were talking on the show about that. Who's going to guard Justin Jefferson? And it's like, well, probably not one-on-one, but maybe he'll follow him. But he'll probably have a lot of help from Antoine Winfield. So that's kind of why I alluded to that earlier. I think that they're going to have safety help a lot, or I don't know. They're going to have to do some kind of scheming, but that makes me intrigued for the Hawkinson, Addison, and KJ Osborne experiment because if you want to limit JJ to 50 yards and no touchdowns, one of those three guys is going to have 100-plus yards and probably a couple touchdowns. And we haven't even mentioned Alexander Madison's name. So quite the matchup in the chess match here. I don't think that this Buccaneers team is as bad as they're probably perceived. They were a playoff team last year. Now, I understand when you lose Tom Brady, a lot of things happen. They had a couple pieces leave, but they still have Mike Evans. They have Chris Godwin. I mentioned Antoine Winfield Jr., Vita Vea. They have everybody pretty much except for the quarterback. So I think it'll be a tough team.
He was pretty good.
Yeah. I hope none of those guys come back. What's up, Jonathan? What's up, Ryan? Appreciate you guys joining us. You guys can throw your predictions in there. You can give a score. Sergio's already out here throwing fireballs, saying Cousins is going to throw for 5 touchdowns. I love that. I love that very much. I don't know if we're going to make crazy predictions like that, but yeah, we kind of already went into the game, so we can talk a little more. I'm excited to see what the Flores defense looks like. Pretty much everyone that's covered the Vikings on any show like this or professionally, journalists out there, this team's going to pressure the quarterback, and I'm excited for the Vikings to get back to that versus the prevent defense. I think what I would say, if you listen to this show and you listen to me or Adam or Kyle, I'll speak for the three of us and say, we're excited for the pass rush too, but be prepared for these younger corners and these younger players to have mistakes that are kind of boneheaded plays every now and again. And also, they're not running the exact same defense from last year. This is a little more complicated than bend, don't break. So
a lot more aggressive too.
Yeah, the aggression is going to be great. Like I love that they're going to have constant pressure or try to get constant pressure on the quarterback, but be easy on the corners. I think Byron Murphy is a solid cornerback one throughout the league. But after that, there's a lot of question marks.
Now, I do want to talk about one thing I talked about earlier in previous weeks is that Minnesota was trying out Josh Metellus in the nickel role in the defense. And if that is what they really want to do with Josh Metellus, is keep him as like a swing safety / nickel player, he could be really valuable this year.
Yeah, I'll let you elaborate more if you want on that, because you had mentioned it earlier. As soon as I saw the tweet, I was like 46 seconds after it came in, I just happened to log on the internet, found it. I was like really pumped about it. And then that's what you mentioned. You said he could play the nickel corner role, I believe, along with what he does. Special teams is his ace in the hole. That's kind of why he's where he is.
When you look at the Vikings depth chart, it can confuse a lot of people because you've got Harrison Smith and you've got Cameron Bynum, who are likely to be the two starters. And you have first-round pick Lewis Seen, and fourth on the safety depth chart is a guy the Vikings just extended for almost $6 million a year. So it's like, it doesn't make a lot of sense if you're a casual fan looking at that. But if you've been following the preseason as well as training camp, you'll know they are very high on Josh Metellus at the moment.
Yeah, I'm excited for him. And I like the clarity that you brought there. I was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Not that I didn't think Josh Metellus wasn't deserving to be on the team, but with all the news surrounding Jefferson and the Hawkinson deal, it's like, okay, I guess the Metellus deal, to be honest with you, I don't remember what year he joined the team. Maybe it's a second or third year, fourth year player. So I need to do my due diligence there. That's lazy on my part. But either way, we're excited. And I'm reading from ESPN now from Kevin Seifert, longtime staff writer for ESPN. He's one of the Vikings reps on here. Safety Josh Metellus could make $13 million in his new deal. It's a 2-year extension worth up to $13 million, $6 million guaranteed. And that was per Adam Schefter earlier today.
A lot of Vikings fans were talking about how he shouldn't have been a priority over Justin Jefferson, but let's talk about that for a second, because Justin Jefferson is in the last year of his rookie deal, and they have already agreed to the 5th-year option on this deal. So Minnesota really isn't in any big rush with Justin Jefferson. At the moment right now, they just want to get that done and out of the way, but if it doesn't happen before the start of the season, it's not a deal breaker.
Yeah, and let's dive into that for a little bit, because I think it's essential for us to talk about like the narrative and the way that pop culture and social media has influenced this stuff. A lot of people who have opinions like you and I, and you have every right to have your opinion, but they get into this mode where, especially the journalists and the analysts on these TV shows and stuff, they're like, well, we should probably get that done. But to your point, Adam, if they've already agreed on the 5th-year option, that's between the player and the team, and it really isn't for us to try to like pressure and sway or talk down about a coach or a GM or a player or anything like that. It's odd to me that obvious information that you just said is out there, but the narrative that gets spun is, well, the Vikings are holding it's like, the thing with Cincinnati right now. Well, Justin Herbert got paid. That means they got to pay Joe Burrow right now. No, it doesn't.
No.
Why does it mean they have to do it? Because you said they need to get it done before the season? Like that doesn't make sense to me. And I understand there are other players with kind of circumstances like the Chris Jones thing. He tremendously helps out the Chiefs. Nick Bosa definitely helped out the Niners. And that's cool for him to get that money. But
I wouldn't be shocked if KJ Osborne got an extension before Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, why not? He came in the year before Jefferson, so he's due for that.
Yeah, Osborne's in the last year of his deal right now. So, I mean, if he doesn't get anything done, he'll become a free agent, and I don't think Minnesota really wants to lose him.
No, I don't think so. I think he could be a casualty just because another team might take a chance and pay him a little more. But back to Justin Jefferson, because I want to tie in a point that I made last week, but I want to hit it on again. They don't have to extend him right this moment. I think that if I had to make a prediction behind closed doors, I think Kevin O'Connell and Quessy sat down with Justin Jefferson face to face and said, we are going to break the bank for you because you're worth every penny. Don't worry about that. If you will put your trust in us to do it at the right time, we promise you, and we'll show you in good faith, you're going to make the highest receiver contract ever. And I think that kind of shows, and I have no idea, this is pure speculation, but I think that kind of shows just how he's acted about it and mentioned it in the media. Because there would be subtle hints if he wasn't completely there, He hasn't mentioned it at all. I kind of like that
the Vikings are taking it slow, though, because they're doing the exact opposite of what the 49ers are doing. The 49ers are throwing around a lot of money and putting themselves in future problems, signing these players to massive deals.
Yeah, that's a good risk reward. I know that team in particular, they like to take big swings. I mean, you see what they've done over the years in draft picks and going out to get people. Like they went and got Trent Williams and trade for Trey Lance. They go get Christian McCaffrey. Like they're known for that.
Oh yeah.
Obviously it worked out because all of those players I mentioned are wonderful, except for Trey Lance, and they drafted very well. But I can understand the Vikings' approach to taking it slow. But to the point I was going to make, and then we're going to get to Jonathan's comment here. I think this all but settles the debate that Kirk Cousins is not coming back next year. You cannot afford to pay TJ Hawkinson $17 million a year. Justin Jefferson's going to make $30 million a year. I'm going to call it now. It's probably going to be 30 point whatever a year.
I hope you guys are ready to see the Vikings make a big swing in the draft and move up for their guy. This is the year.
Let's go. I am team Drake May from North Carolina all the way. I don't think you have to go to the very top. Get Caleb Williams, which is hilarious. Caleb Williams' father put out yesterday is like, if he doesn't go to the right place at number 1, we can stay in college for another year. We're talking to you, Arizona. You are a dumpster fire, and your coach couldn't motivate me to wipe my own behind after diarrhea from Taco Bell. Like, he's terrible. Good luck
I'm
with
really
that.
Curious what their plan is to Kyler Murray because they really don't seem to want to have him around after giving him a gigantic contract.
I think it's going to be one of those wash the hands kind of deal, and he moves on somewhere else, much like a Baker Mayfield. Hey,
we're just going to take a Osweiler type thing. Trade him just to eat the contract.
Trade him to eat the contract, get him out of there, and take another swing. I mean, they're known for that too. We'll talk about the Cardinals for a second. They draft Josh Rosen in the top 10 one year. That literally the next year they take Kyler Murray. It's like, well, I wouldn't think that this place has any loyalty either. So I think he might have did that to himself a little bit, but I digress. Kyler Murray sucks. Yeah, he's hey, look, he made his money. I'm happy for him, but I'll put it to you this way, real purple and gold, I don't want him here.
But do you know his KD in Call of Duty? That's the question.
Maybe if they could put the plays in Call of Duty, he would be better. I don't know. I want to get back to Jonathan's comments because I said I would. Not game related, but nice to see Kyle Rudolph retired Viking. Yeah, former Vikings tight end. I think he was here for 8 or 9 years. Kyle Rudolph had a couple of great catches I can think of my career or his career over my time as a fan. Obviously, the one in New Orleans to win the playoff game was funny because he definitely did push off. And he had a great one-handed catch in Dallas, I remember. But just remember, like, how big, like, he wasn't the fastest tight end ever, but he was very athletic and very tall. And I just remember him, like, almost slow jumping and catching a lot of one-handed catches. Great guy in the community. Do not like at all that he drank the Kool-Aid and did the media thing where he was like, oh, Daniel Jones is like the best quarterback I've ever played for. You know what? Fuck you for saying that. But I understand you have to kind of back up whomever you're playing for.
You remember that picture I showed you guys of me with Kyle Rudolph and he's like a foot taller than me? It's like, what the hell?
How tall are you?
I'm 6 foot.
Yeah, it depends on the shoes I'm wearing. I'm 6 foot as well. And I think about that for you. I met Garrett Bradbury this summer, and I'm like, these guys are humongous. So if I met the center who is easily like a foot taller than me, I can't imagine how tall Kyle Rudolph was. He's a big dude. But yeah, we're with you, Jonathan. Love
but like me, Stephon Diggs is weird because he's almost the same height as me.
Oh, yeah.
And then like Ahmad Rashad wasn't too much bigger than me.
Man, that's crazy. I think about how athletic these dudes are, and they, you know, if you're just looking at them eye to eye, you're like, it's crazy. Because I look at Stephon Diggs on the field, and he looks tiny to me.
Right.
So, and he's probably what my height or close to it. So, yeah, I can't imagine those ogres they're out there playing against on the field. But yeah, we're with you, Jonathan. Happy to see Kyle Rudolph retire a Viking. They're also, we mentioned this before, but they're doing the throwback jerseys this weekend. They're also honoring Bud Grant in this first game since his passing. So
they're also having another special patch attached to the jerseys of players, rookies playing their first game. So that's something kind of new.
Just for rookies. Nice,
yeah.
Dude. I'll be on the lookout for that.
Players playing their first game get a patch on their jersey special.
That's pretty sweet. Jonathan. Charlotte says she's 5'2". That'd be super awkward. Yeah. Same. I don't know, man. These people are just, they're alien. They're alien creatures in human form playing this violent sport, but we love it. We're watching it tonight too. If you guys didn't know, it starts in about 4 hours. Kansas City Chiefs are hosting the Detroit City Kitties, and we were talking about that beforehand. Man, Detroit, I don't think there's any more hype behind the team this season than Detroit. Good God, maybe the Jets.
The media is loving Detroit.
They love Detroit to win the division. I've seen them as high, like Colin Cowherd I watched earlier, has him as the 2 seed in the NFC, and I don't understand that whatsoever. You're telling me that they're better than the San Francisco 49ers? Absolutely not. Are they better than the Dallas Cowboys? No, not even close. But I do think they're improved. Adam and I were talking about it. Adam mentioned the defense. Remember, famously last year, the Lions and the Vikings were fighting for last place as far as the defense and how shitty they were. But
the Vikings go and get a new defensive coordinator. The Lions don't. Minnesota swaps out almost their whole secondary, all their defensive backs, or all their cornerbacks. Detroit, they go and get one. And then they draft a slow linebacker. I don't know. I like some of the pieces they have on defense, but I don't think the scheme does what's best for a lot of those guys. It'll be interesting to see tonight if Detroit can do anything to keep the Chiefs in check, because, I mean, anytime you got to go up against Patrick Mahomes, it's going to be tough.
Well, why I think they'll lose tonight, why I think that is because Andy Reid is like the freaking football Jesus of September. He's always good in September. They are without Travis Kelce tonight, I believe. If they're smart, they're not going to play him. Hasn't officially been ruled out, but we'll see. Coming up, and I think he had a bone bruise on his knee or something, which sucks. Like right before the season starts.
Yeah, but, the minor hyperextension, right?
Oh, something. Yeah. Sorry about that. I thought I read bone bruise somewhere, but
because I had a minor hyperextension when I was. This is kind of embarrassing, but I was in Minneapolis and I was walking in the parking garage, and I didn't see a step in the parking garage, a little bit of a step, and when my knee hit, I felt it kind of push in, and I was like, "Oh, that hurts." So I ended up going to the doctor. He's like, "Yep, minor hyperextension. Stay office for 3 weeks."
See that. I can't imagine how bad that hurts too.
Ugh. Oh, it's bad.
But yeah, they don't have Travis Kelce, the Chiefs, and they're also without Chris Jones. He's obviously been a holdout. He is firm in his stance too. He's lost a ton of money holding out.
Kansas City already elevated another tight end to the roster, so it's not looking good for him.
Right. Jonathan says the Lions are not as good as the media makes them out to be. So tired of that.
But here's your tip of the day. If you are putting together a parlay on this game, make sure to put a little bit of extra on Sky Moore's receiving yards, because he's going to have them.
Yeah. And I love getting to watch quarterback on Netflix. I know Patrick Mahomes talked about him in an episode, and he was very, very happy for him and a couple of his other teammates that were kind of like come up the ranks guys. But Sky Moore, definitely. Kadarius Toney is still there. He has a full offseason with them. He had a lot of potential. Even though he didn't shine with the Giants, he could definitely do it there.
But how could you not shine with the Giants?
With the wizard at quarterback named Daniel Jones. Don't get me started, Adam. You know I love that guy. Top 10
quarterback in the NFL, boom.
Maybe in fantasy because he runs everywhere. But so is Justin Fields, and he's fucking garbage too. Ugh. Charlotte says, I'm excited for the defense, but I hope it clicks. Yeah, same. That's all we're rooting for. I've said this continually in the offseason, and I know you guys will agree with me. We were 31st in the league last year. If we have a 1 in front of the ranking by the end of the year, it could be 19. That is a major, major win for this team.
It's going to look so different without Eric Kendricks out there.
Yeah, we'll miss Eric Kendricks. Definitely, we talked about Thielen being gone. I loved Patrick Peterson being here. I wish he would have finished his career as a Viking. But, yeah, they're going to roll the dice, and I can't blame them. It's not – maybe my favorite way, but it is a way to make the team a little more budget friendly and to go with youth. And I like the fact that you're taking a gamble on younger guys. So a lot of people have a lot of time to shine in this Vikings defense because a lot of young names that haven't proven themselves yet. So they'll get that opportunity.
Well, Kwesi was put in an interesting situation where he had to take a roster that had basically been handpicked and given way too much money past their prime, I'll say. Yeah. And try to turn that into a competitive roster for the future. And we're seeing that process now. And although this is a transition year, there's no reason Minnesota can't be competitive.
I'm still seeing stuff too. I brought up the Lions schedule. It's not as bad as ours, but it's still that we play all the same teams. But you're in Kansas City. Seattle's not a cakewalk. I think they could win the NFC West. Honestly, they've drafted so well.
They very well could.
And Geno had a resurgence last year, and they're playing well. And I'll tell you this, for what it's worth, and this is just me literally hearing information and passing it on to all of you. I watch a lot of sports. If I could chop it up physically and snort it like cocaine, I would be high all the time. All I listen to when I wake up, come home, whatever, I put on Rich Eisen, Colin Cowherd, Pat McAfee, all those things. Colin Cowherd had someone in the studio, and they said, hey, look, I've been around Seattle camp this summer. They look really, really good. So I got a good feeling about Seattle this year.
And they play the Cardinals twice, which is good for them.
Yeah, good for them. But week 2, they have Seattle at home. They have Atlanta at home. Atlanta will be feisty. They go to Green Bay, which is always hard.
I feel like Atlanta's not getting as much credit as they deserve, because they could be a lot better team than a lot of people are. Nobody's really talking about them, are they?
I know they're talking about the rushing attack with Bijan Robinson and Cordero Patterson. They've got a great running back room, but I don't know how much I believe in Desmond Ridder, and I need to see Kyle Pitts turn into the Terminator. They said he was going to be a tight end. He hasn't shown any of that yet, but they got a decent roster. I like Arthur Smith as a coach, maybe more of as a coordinator, but why not? Falcons could give you trouble. Green Bay, I'm not worried about the Panthers or the Bucks. I just don't believe in those quarterbacks yet. They have a tough stretch. You got to go to the Ravens. Vegas is not going to be easy. The Chargers are not going to be easy. Fuck the Bears. I'm not even worried about them. I think the Saints are going to win the NFC South. They play the Saints. And then you end the season, Denver at Minnesota, at Dallas, home against Minnesota. I would pump the brakes on the Lions going 12-5. I don't know. I don't see that just yet, but we're not Lions gurus here. Adam, tell me if I'm wrong, but if you haven't won, the Buccaneers have won the NFC Central before it became the NFC North more recently than the Lions have, and that counts for something, right?
Yeah, that is kind of crazy.
Kind of weird, but here you go.
Yeah, ever since the division realignment, the Lions are the only team to never win their division.
That's insane. Especially I don't know, since 2000 or whatever, 2001, every year they've had like 4 or 5 new playoff teams. Now it's up to like 6 or 7. So you have all that chance for turnover, but I don't know.
And all the talent Detroit has had over that time, too. It's wild.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about that earlier with feeling bad for Jared Goff. You know, they swap you out with the guy in Detroit and send him to your team, and they immediately win a Super Bowl. I'm sure that wasn't a confidence booster, but I'm proud of Jared Goff. He's done very well. I think him and Kirk Cousins are right. Like, if you're comparing quarterbacks in the neighborhood and the mansion is like Patrick Mahomes at the top of the hill, I think Goff and Cousins share a house next to each other. I think they're very similar. I think he's done well on a team that historically has been bad, but also the thing that kind of makes me believe a little bit in the Lions, and I would say good luck to them tonight, but I hope the Chiefs kill you and beat you by 40. Their coach, man, as weird and goofy and wacky as he is, he seems like an ultimate player's coach. So
yeah, those players are buying in, and I love it.
Yeah. Thomas Buse, welcome back, buddy. You said earlier the Chiefs are going to raise the banner. That place is going to be insane. Absolutely. I agree with you, man. That place is going to go nuts. NFC is so weak. Too bad we don't have a 2012 squad. You mean we don't have Christian Ponder and just run the ball everywhere? I see what you mean, though. Good squad that made the playoffs, a heavy run, and then the defense was good. I remember 2012. This is a random Vikings talk, but I remember 2012 going into the end of the season. Adrian Peterson's on fire. He's already at like 1,700 yards. Probably closer to 1,700 because it was like one of the last games. We played Houston, and Houston they were buzzing, and J.J. Watt had just gotten in the league. We held Houston to 6 points in Houston.
Adrian Peterson did 2012 type year. Will Alexander Madison buy Ed Ingram a snowmobile?
I forgot about that. That's hilarious. If he wins MVP, he has to. Charlotte. Oh, yeah. Hinder. I'll counter your Hinder with crossfade. I like Hinder as well, but Jake, what's up, man? He said, Skull, we made it. We're here, dude. NFL season starts tonight. You can feel it coming. Although
I'm starting to get excited. This is where it's at. I'm starting to feel it.
I wish that I could tell you, like, every time I associate the NFL season, I think of fall. I wore a hoodie today. Major mistake, even though I'm in the house and it is cool. It is 97 degrees here today in Richmond, Virginia. It is hot as hell.
Yow.
And I'm ready for that fall weather, and I have never said that in my entire life. So
I'm 53 ready. Here.
I got my dog out today at work, and we did 10 to 20 minutes outside, and he drank all of the water in his bucket when we got in. So I was like, yeah, we're going to cool it for a little while. Jake's hilarious. Here's the 18 weeks of beer and anxiety and frustration. How about more than 18? How about 22 weeks? 21 weeks?
Last year, every game was so stressful.
Every one of them. Every single one of them. Just unnecessarily stressful. Oh, wow. Ryan says it's 99 in Oklahoma. Ugh. Yeah, Thomas, I knew you meant the defense.
Tumbleweed and saw it on eBay.
Dude, I saw those when I was in Texas, like on the drive to El Paso, and it blew my mind that it was a real thing. I thought it was just in cartoons.
Did you ever look on eBay at the people selling tumbleweed? It's crazy.
No, now I want to. Oh, shit, I'm going to do that while you talk for a second. eBay, tumbleweed. Because this is the breaking news you need on the Purple People
podcast is all about right here.
Shopping. I have to see this. 3-pack 5 to 8 inch. I don't want the small ones. $90.
Oh, yeah. Tumbleweed's big money.
Wow. Guys, I got to move out to Texas again. This is crazy. This is information I didn't know I needed, but I'm glad that I have it now.
We don't get tumbleweed in the UP in Michigan.
Yeah, we don't have those in the inner city streets of Richmond, Virginia. Team ages me 5 years. Yeah, dude, you and me both. Is it true that Cousins won't sign an extension unless Cousins is quarterback? I highly doubt that. And
I believe Jefferson said that he would love if Kirk Cousins can come back as a quarterback, but it's not a deal breaker. So I don't think that will be a major issue.
Jake said you can buy tumbleweeds.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
but on eBay, it blew my mind.
Go to Google and just type in eBay tumbleweeds and then go to shopping tab. Adam just like, it's one of those things you like, I'm never going to forget this now. And I'm not going to be mad at him for it, but I'm going to be like, one, how did you know this? And two, I can't ever not think about it now. Charlotte,
I got live in Kansas City and make fun of them all the time for it.
You just ask them what their biggest export is. They're like tumbleweeds. Booming
the
economy out in tumbleweeds. So, Charlotte, I want to go to a point that I had, and I'll say it again. I think Kyle and I talked about it last week or the week before, but I can't, man. When you sign TJ Hawkinson to 17 plus a year, I think Justin Jefferson's going to make $30+ million a year. I think it'll be like $30.5 million a year. And if he has another season yet again where he's just an alien on the field, he already deserves it. Let me put it out there now. Justin, we love you. All of Vikings Kingdom loves you. Just want to see him keep rolling. I want to see him break all the records. By the way, I got to look this up too, but Kyle West and I were talking about him the other day. If he has close to the same yardage that he has right now, he'll pass Adam Thielen this year in Vikings receiving yards. And Adam Thielen was here for like 4 extra years before him. It's insane. It's so crazy.
Jefferson this year can also accumulate more career yards than any wide receiver in Chicago Bears history.
Oh, you know what, Bears, enjoy that 85 Super Bowl you have to watch on a VHS tape. You guys are a poverty franchise in and out, and I want you guys to know that. But to back to my point, Charlotte, is you sign TJ Hawkinson, you're going to have to sign Jefferson to a mega deal. You're going to have to sign Darisaw. He's earned every bit of that. Jordan Addison will be coming up in the future. You got to plan ahead. This all, but for me, confirms that Kirk Cousins is not going to be here next year. He's not going to take a pay cut. He's seen that in his career. I think he's earned the money that he's gotten, despite what you want to say about the record and how the wins or the championship that's not here, blah, blah, blah. Like him at his individual position, Adam was just talking about earlier, consistency to a key. You know what you're going to get with him. So I don't think that Kirk Cousins is going to be here next year because the money's not going to allow him. Now, I hope that means they trade up for Drake May or one of these wonder boys that are out there. Like, did you guys watch college football this past weekend? Oh, my God, everybody's good. All the quarterbacks are amazing. They're all good. So that's good for us as a franchise and fans that they may be able to draft someone else. But to round this point out and stop talking about it.
But if they trade for a quarterback, then they can't get Kool-Aid.
Man, and the name drafts too. There's some awesome names coming out. Adam pointed this out, so this is why I love having Adam back. I forgot about that. What else do you guys want to talk about, man? We talked about Josh Metellus. Right now, the spread on ESPN is negative 5.5 in the Vikings' favor. Let me mute my thing real quick.
All the ladies ringing them constantly. Can't blame them for that. I wish I had that kind of problem. I don't. My phone's sitting here. I have it on silent, but I might as well not have. I mean, I don't get those kind of notifications. All I get is a cat coming and headbutting my microphone every once in a while.
Love when my work phone goes off and it's clearly spam from a 1-800 number.
Nice.
Yeah, let us know what you guys want to talk about. Like I said, the Vikings are a negative 5.5 favorite right now. There's not really a big injury report to update. Like I said earlier, Troy Dye was the only one listed, I think, yesterday or today. I'm not sure what the Buccaneers injury report looks like, but I'll be obviously watching out for Mike Evans, first player ever in NFL history.
Yeah, that situation's weird.
9 straight from his rookie year, 9 straight 1,000-yard seasons. I mean, he's got a Super Bowl ring. It's one of the things, like, we have that debate. Like when Phillip Rivers retired, is he like borderline Hall of Fame? Is Matt Ryan Hall of Fame? These are guys you could think you're talking about it. You never hear anything about Mike Evans, but he got the ring with Brady. I think the dude's going in the Hall. I think it's pretty safe to say he's going in the Hall of Fame.
Probably not first ballot, but I think he might go.
Yeah,
a little bit down the road.
That's totally fair and respectable. It depends on what I know that listening to Locked On Vikings today when they had the crossover show, they said his management has been saying, "Hey, look, we want to be compensated. We want more. We want an extension. Blah blah blah." And the Bucs really haven't budged. Might be his last year as a Buccaneer, and then he could try to do the ring chasing thing, go somewhere else. But I'm kind of rooting for him to continue that, to be the first guy ever, just because 10 helps my OCD. But since he's been in the league, 10, like if he gets it this year, 10 straight seasons of 1,000 yards, it's pretty cool. And that's a testament to not only one, consistency, but to health. That's a bang up position when you're that big and getting hit and taken out. So I'll be watching Mike Evans for sure. I keep wanting to say Mike Williams. Vita Vea, I'm going to watch him every single snap he's on the field. No doubt about it. And I mentioned Antoine Winfield earlier. I love it. I wish that he was a Viking, but I don't really care about Baker Mayfield. I don't have anything against him. He doesn't necessarily scare me, but I obviously don't sleep on him. He always plays with a chip on his shoulder. I have too many things. My brain is going a million miles an hour of the things I want to watch for the Vikings. So I'm just going to have to pick something, maybe one per quarter, a player, and just go with it. I have too many things that I want to see. And I'm going to try to train my brain to just watch.
I'm going to be keeping an eye on the trenches for the Vikings because I want to see if their defense can hold a little bit there in the middle, because rushing of defense was hard to watch last year.
Yeah, I want to pay attention to the interior line play, but it's going to be really hard when I see Justin Jefferson take off in the line, not to squirrel, there he goes. We'll see if that happens, but I'm going to try to pay attention so I can give you guys a full, that's my dedication to you guys for the show this season. I want to really hone in per game and say, hey, look, this entire game that I watched, I only paid attention to Andrew Booth Jr. or a Caleb Evans. I only paid attention to Danielle Hunter this game, so we can get it. And obviously, I'll see the plays and the highlights later, but I want to do a better job of that because I'm watching as a fan, waiting for a big play and a catch, and I'm like, what led up to that? So I'm trying to break ground on that. Not that any of you care, but I'm going to torture myself and try to be better about that. Yeah, knock on all the wood. I wish that I could have done that before. That stupid phone ruined our show over here. Jonathan says, need to get back into college ball. Don't have the time to watch it, though. Who's your college team? At least you don't follow a basketball school like I do. That sucks. Here's a good underrated topic. Be interesting to see how they use Josh Oliver. Yeah, coming from what is it when you use two tight ends? At 12? Especially with TJ Hawkinson and getting a block for Madison or extra time for the line to keep Cousins a little bit more protected. I love that signing because that's all you hear about Josh Oliver is how great he is at blocking. So take all the help we can get in keeping Kirk upright and making the
I
rushing
hate talking
attack.
about two tight ends. That's because my brain always goes right to Gronk and Hernandez, and it's like we shouldn't be talking about Hernandez.
Right. Well, we can talk about the football player. We don't have to talk about his off the field issues. We'll try to skip over that.
But yeah, Oliver has never really been much of a pass catcher, so if they try to use him in that way, it'll be interesting. But he should be really valuable, especially in run blocking, and if they get him out there for screens and things like that, he could be real good.
He could be real good there, and I'm most excited thinking about what you're talking about here, Ryan and Adam, as you were talking. Is I want to see the new wrinkle, and it's not all going to come out week one. I'm ready to see the evolution from year 1 to year 2 from Kevin O'Connell and how this offense is a little bit better. It runs a little bit different. Obviously, with personnel changing, like adding Josh Oliver to help for blocking, adding a little speedy guy in the slot like Jordan Addison. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how the run game shifts when Alexander Madison is RB1.
Is the balance going to get more pass heavy now with Cook gone?
That's the thing. We talked about that before. They said they want to go more run heavy. And I'm like, with all of the pass catchers you have on this team, I call bullshit. I don't believe you. I want it to be, but you got to get Justin Jefferson the ball, priority number 1. And then if you can't get him the ball and he's double covered, there's going to be glaring, obvious matchups that you're going to be able to win. So I'm excited, man. This is a little bit of a shift from what you and I are used to, and a lot of you in the comments. Vikings always having a great defense. I don't think they're going to have a great defense now, but we could see some fireworks on offense if everything flows smoothly and everybody stays healthy. This could be a fun offensive team. Like, you remember a couple of years ago, Adam, like in between like 4 to 8 years ago, where the defense had to do all the work. We couldn't get into shootouts. We had to win the nail biters 21-17 games. If this goes right and the scheme works and everybody stays healthy and everybody plays awesome, dude, we could be looking at a shootout team. We could be looking at like the LA Chargers, a Kansas City type thing where it's just like, fuck it, we're down 10. We got 6 minutes. We can go score.
Yeah.
I kind of like that, And I liked it. Kirk is essentially trying to play his way into his last deal and like hopefully go win it all, because I like pissed off Kirk. We saw a little bit of that last year where he kind of just said, all right, I got to take a little bit more risk. I want more of that. Show me some more risk taking from Kirk. Who cares? That'd be fun. Don't play conservative. But, yeah, we're running up on 45 minutes here. I don't have much else to say. I'm going to ask the final one here and put it up. Final score prediction for the game. If you guys want to give us your thought, I'll put it up here. Adam, do you think the Vikings win? If you do, what do you think that score comes down to?
I haven't given any thought at all to the score, but I do believe this is a game Minnesota should win. Although I'm seeing way too many. I'll say this as politely as I can. I'm on TikTok a lot, and there's a lot of people on there with week 1 predictions in live chats trying to get people talking. And boy, there are a lot of people that really believe Minnesota could get upset, and their reason is always, well, Minnesota's defense is trash. It's like, well, this ain't last year's defense. It's like, well, they won last year with a negative 3-point differential. It's like, yeah, because their defense sucked. It's not because the offense wasn't scoring points.
And here's the thing. Obviously, we know last year that the mathematics alone say that we're not going to win 8 one-score games and win all of them or whatever it was. Like, it's not going to happen. You're going to have film. You're going to see little wrinkles that'll help you as far as the other team watching this team. But you're right, Adam. They still won that last year. They haven't improved. They majorly upgraded a defensive coordinator. They got youthful, which is crazy because part of the reason, even though it's mostly Ed Donatell's terrible scheme, a part of the reason we had seen 2 years prior to last year, the guys that we kept paying money to and kept running it back with were getting older. They were missing a couple more tackles. So I'm with you, man. I don't think necessarily this is a trap game. I think later on in the season, like maybe at Chicago could be a trap game. Or you like the Falcons. We go to Atlanta this year. That could be a trap game. I don't necessarily think week 1 against Baker Mayfield and the Bucs is. And I'm not saying that to dismiss them or be condescending. I just think the Vikings are a better team, and they're at home. This team, particularly
week 1 of the NFL,
home,
is such a hard time to predict anything because we don't really know anything about what these teams' identities are going to be this year. Or basing too much on last year, and this isn't last year.
I agree, and that's why when I take the Vikings in this game, which I predicted they win, I'm basing it on what I know about my team now, and also you have to factor in this is a home game. They've been wonderful historically at home since this stadium has been built. They've been pretty damn good at US Bank, so I like the energy, and I'm going to say what I've heard on other podcasts about the Vikings recently. Dude, you have to win this game. The first 5 games of this season are tough. They are very tough. And, well, that's it with the first 5 or 6. I can't remember when the Charger game is. But we have to win week 1 because I absolutely have us getting the dog snot beat out of us in Philadelphia next week on Thursday night. So
if you are in the Minneapolis area, keep an eye out because Chuck Foreman has been doing a lot of appearances with other Vikings legends at local bars. And I believe he does watch-alongs, too, with games. So that could be something that would be a lot of fun if you're a local Vikings fan, wanted to watch the game with an absolute Vikings legend.
That is awesome. I'd love to be there for that. 28-14. Who wins? I don't know. Come on, Ryan. Come on. Jake says 31-21 Vikings. Sergio says 35-14 Vikes. Jonathan says 28-17 for the Vikings. Thomas Buse, 26-22 Minnesota. And then I am predicting 31-24. The Vikings come out on top. That's too even of a score. And the spread right now is very wonky at -5.5. So maybe this is one of those games where you have a safety and a missed extra point and a 2-point conversion that changes everything. I don't know. It'd probably be something stupid like 32-28.
There only being 2 field goals. That's what I am looking at your score prediction. And being like, only 2 field goals? That's not right.
Yeah, I'm probably wrong. I'll throw that out there now. Yeah, I think the Vikings should win this game. I think they have to. I think Philadelphia is going to kick the shit out of them next week. So, I don't see any way. That's just they have their number. They've been better ever since 2017. And
good team.
I have PTSD from that NFC Championship game. I'm still pissed about that. But yeah, we think the Vikings are going to win. We hope they win. They should. They have to. You got to start the season off right, and I have all the faith in the world. They're going to come out blazing. Throwback jerseys, Bud Grant. So it's going to be a fun weekend to be a Vikings fan and be at US Bank. So I'm excited. I hope the Vikings win. And now that we're rounding out the show, I will get ahead of it and say, if you are in our Yahoo Survival League, please update your picks. I got an email
get your picks in.
Yep, I got an email yesterday and reminded me, and I had the Vikings picked. And I changed it to the Washington Commanders because they are playing the Cardinals, and I think they are going to be terrible. Yeah, I understood Ryan. I understood Ryan. Yeah, I picked them. I think I'm going to use that game plan for most of the season. I'm going to see who the Texans and who the Cardinals are.
I remember seeing the graphic, but I don't remember who the Cardinals starting quarterback is going to be in week 1.
They haven't said yet. It's either a guy they did announce in the 5th round or some veteran. They signed Josh, what's his name, from Tennessee. He played a couple games last year.
Oh, yeah, Josh Dobbs, right?
Yeah. So
I believe that is who they announced.
Yeah, I don't know. And they think that it's a competitive advantage. I said, okay, I see your competitive advantage. I'll raise you the number 1 pick because that's exactly where you're headed. This could be a one-and-done year for that coach. I don't even know his name, and I'm not even going to learn it. So Sergio wants to join in the Survival League. Is he allowed to this late?
Oh, yeah, you can still hop in.
Oh, there you go. Thomas, too. I know it's on our Facebook page, guys. and I don't know if they commented the password to get in, but for all of you that aren't familiar, go to facebook.com/Purple People Podcast. It'll be pinned at the top, and I'm going to double check that.
And it'll have the link, and if the password isn't there, it's SKOL, skull, all capital letters.
Yeah, it's pinned at the top, and let me go to the comments here.
Kelsey will be a game-time decision.
It's the password is skull with all capital letters. Is that correct, Adam?
Yes.
Skull and all capital letters. I've commented under that link at the top. So yeah, guys, just go to Facebook. You'll see the link up here, our Facebook page, and get that rolling. It's fun.
And to see if there's any Vikings news that just hit, and I'm not seeing anything fresh. So
okay, nice. Let me see what this is because I'm getting an error from.
Oh yeah, the Vikings did release that weird video of all Justin Jefferson's new gritties. Maybe I'm a bit old, and it's cool the kids are having fun, but I'd worry less about gritties and more about, football.
Jonathan, I know this is not the best, most professional way, but it's at the very top of our page right here. I just clicked the link and it worked for me, so maybe try it again.
If you want to type in chat the league number, is it on there?
Yeah, I can put that in there.
Yeah, the league number and the password.
The group ID number.
That way too.
Here you go. Group ID number for our survival league. The reason I'm glad you guys both asked because we love the regulars on the show that want to be and join in.
Yeah, fill it up. Let's have fun.
Every year, we will put up a nice little prize package, free of charge, of course. Why does it not work for you guys, but it works for me? That's very odd.
Well, go to Yahoo Survival, join league, and put in 8089 and the password skull, all capital letters, and you'll get in.
I'll make a post on our behalf right now for that.
Okay.
So, yeah, but anyways, back to what we were saying.
Oh, Ryan got in.
Nice. Yeah, I'll be sure to put that together. You'll get a Purple People Podcast shirt, hoodie, or sweatshirt of your choosing, and maybe a small gift I can find on like eBay or something. But it's free for you for playing along. You just have to win and not get eliminated by week 6 like somebody on the show named Kyle Smith. Last year was not good to me. And I made very good picks, too. I'm very pissed about that. But, yeah, we get over here and promote some things, and we'll get out of here. First of all, I'm going to try to be better about this, too. You guys have been amazing today. We've had almost double digits watching the entire time. You guys have been great in the comments. Shout out to Thomas, Brian, Sergio, Jonathan, and Charlotte. Jake was back here. Also want to give a shout out to Real Purple and Gold. Thank y'all so much for joining in, man.
And if you feel up to it, get some of your Vikings fans friends to hop in here and chat with us too.
That would be amazing. Would be amazing. If you could like and subscribe to the YouTube page. I hate doing that thing because everyone on YouTube follows the same formula, and it makes me want to push a screwball in my eye. But I like the page, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and it'll tell you when we go live. I try to schedule these things the day before. So when you know a show's coming up, it'll pop up in your YouTube algorithm. My buddy Justin over at Purple and Gold for Days, I'm subscribed to his channel with the bell, and I see his stuff all the time. He's very good about pushing content out.
Show up on the Facebook. So if you are following our Facebook page, you will get the thing saying when our show is.
I'm going to put the Survival League info in a Facebook post here, but Adam, I'm going to let you plug while I do that. Adam Carlson, find his work here.
Over on the Viking Age, I recently released a NFL Power Rankings before week 1, and I believe I am sleeping on one team that could be very good this year. And even after I hit publish, I was like, I should have put them higher. And I really believe I'm sleeping on the Steelers. I think they could be a lot better than I think that I thought they were. So yeah, I'll have to keep an eye out for that. But I've always got content going out over there, and I've got a great team over there that puts out great information and fun articles with good opinions that are a lot of fun to read. Go there and click and help me get some money for cat food because Bertie likes to eat.
Always going to give Adam his due. You just got to go on the Viking Age, find some articles that Adam has written, and click on them. First of all, read what he said and get some good information, some knowledge, and help pay his bills, man. If you guys want to support him on the Viking Age, great. You can also support him on Twitch or on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, yeah.
Social media here. I know you're on the Talk as well, the Instagram.
I'm everywhere on social media. I'm even on Threads, and I don't use it.
I can't. I can't.
I'm having trouble getting into Threads.
I can't get it, man. I have it. I haven't used it once. It's crazy when these companies compete for each other too, or against each other, and they do the same exact thing. Like Threads is Twitter for Instagram.
It is.
I already have Twitter. I'm good. I guess I'm getting older because I don't need all the social media. Kyle West is famous for this. He's like, I hate Instagram. I'm not using it anymore. And he's
I gave up on Snapchat about 2 years ago.
Same. I feel too old and creepy, and I don't want to use a thing where I only send photos. So I got off of Snapchat, and I just don't. I like the things I like. I don't like the mirror version of the rival company, you know.
So are you right now trying to set up more shows for where you're at now, or are you taking a little break from doing live music?
I want to. I just don't know the area well enough. And my theory for that was I do want to play more. But I'm also, this is the first time since my son's been born that I've lived within like 45 minutes. I'm going to have every other weekend. So it's going to be a little tougher now to plan ahead just because the schedules change. But I don't know, man. Usually, I can't say too much because I did do some shows into last year in the holidays, but usually it's better when you can play outside or when it's warmer. But I'm definitely going to play here. I just don't know when I'm going to get into going around and handing out the card because I don't know anything about this area yet. Adam set me up for this to talk about it. If you guys want to follow me on social media, it's at NCDogDude. I've moved to Richmond, Virginia. I'm finally closer to my baby boy. I'm excited. He's coming over for the weekend. We're going to watch the Vikings game together. First time ever, so I'm very excited. Catch me in Richmond. If you're close to the area, let me know. Catch me in Minnesota, week 5 against the Chiefs. We're all set up for that. Plane tickets are bought, hotels bought, tickets are bought for the game.
Oh man, I got everybody that's trying to go to that game, but the tickets are just insanely expensive.
Yeah, my dad was nice enough to drop the tickets, and he said, "Don't worry about how much I spend." He goes, "I just want to stay in a nice hotel." And I said, "All
Did
right,
you guys get into the Omni?
Not the Omni. Where the hell are we staying at? I know we're
because
about
the
10
Omni in
blocks.
Viking Lakes is just amazing.
We're staying like 10 blocks away. I know it sounds crazy, but I wanted to be able to walk to the stadium. It's still not going to be like crazy freezing, and I wanted to be able to enjoy. I don't know what it is, man. And I have memories of this from the Panthers Stadium, being from Carolina, but the walk up and the anticipation, especially with how great this place is going to look, I can't wait to go.
What month is this again?
October the 1st.
Oh,
or no,
okay. That's not so
bad. Is it going to be bad? Okay, good. I'm scared. I'm trying to see. I'm going to find it.
Could be scary, but early October ain't bad.
I have it somewhere in here. And also, I know you haven't forgotten about this, but we haven't talked about it in a while. I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to take a piece of paper with me. I think I'm going to do it the day before because we have a tour that Saturday night.
You ain't going to find it.
Oh, I'm definitely going to find it. 100%.
You ain't finding it. Good luck.
You know where it's at?
No.
No?
I know it's by the ship.
I'm going to find it. Adam, Kyle, and myself, for the inaugural season, you could pay X amount of money, get your name put on a brick that's going to be at U.S. Bank. We've been a part of U.S. Bank since its inception.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't know it, but we're there, and I'm going to go. We got
one of those legacy bricks.
I got it. Yeah, it's here, and I cannot wait. I'm so excited, man. I forgot to make sure I look for that.
We've asked you guys to find it, and you guys haven't been able to. So, I mean,
I've got nothing but time. You know how annoying and relentless I am about this team. I'll find it. We'll take a couple minutes and knock it out. But yeah, follow us there. I want to promote for Kyle West since he's not here. He's unfortunately got to pay his bills and work right now. Follow Kyle West on Twitter and Snapchat and all that fun stuff at Vaguely Square. We also want to promote his photography website if you love, especially the good seasonal photography like the fall coming up. He's got some amazing shots. A great photographer. And we also sell Purple People Podcast merch here. If you want a T-shirt, if you want anything with our stuff on it, phone case, a mouse pad, a T-shirt, a coffee
shower
mug.
curtain.
You could buy a shower. You can buy a pillowcase, I think. And that's not just for Purple People podcast stuff too. I have to do the clarity there. You can buy Kyle West's prints of actual cool photos. And
He has
put
some
them
great
on
creepy pictures too. If you're into that kind of stuff, like Halloween.
Oh yeah,
Good fun
yeah.
stuff.
He's very talented. I always
That's
give
KyleWest84.picfair.com, I believe.
Yes, put that right back up. But yeah, that's it, man. Football's here. Football tonight. Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Detroit Lions. I'm going to watch that game a little later, and I know you've got company coming, Adam. Thank you for being back.
My nephew's coming over. It's going to be great.
We've missed you, man.
Just a quick note. If you are looking to watch the Vikings game and you are in the Midwest, it's going to strangely be on CBS, not on Fox this week. So keep your eye on CBS.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. I don't have any sort of TV network or anything like that, so I may be illegally streaming.
I'm actually going to have it on my Paramount Plus.
Very nice. I should,
because I'm a legacy customer on Paramount Plus, and I actually get the live CBS on there. I am that old that I signed up for Paramount Plus on day one. I had to have my live feeds for Big Brother, and now the Big Brother live feeds are free on Pluto. It's like, what the heck?
I'm excited for myself. I'm excited I think I'm going to break down eventually and get YouTube for Sunday Ticket. So I'll let you guys know how that goes. Hopefully it's better than that bullshit from NFL Plus. Are you still taking
classes?
For what?
Anything?
No, I'm done. I'm very much done.
Well, if you know a student that is near you, they've got a deal right now. I believe it's about $100 for the whole season for season ticket for a student price, and you can add Red Zone for $10. So for $110, you can get all of the season ticket for the season and Red Zone for $110.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I've got to find somebody around here. You know what's hilarious? I'm right next to Virginia Commonwealth University. It's a mile down the road. Do like an under the table deal. I'll be like, hey.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to throw it out there, because I don't think it's been super well advertised, the student rate.
No, of course not. They don't want you to save money. That's it, man. I'll let you take her home. Skull Vikings and Bucks this Sunday, I believe noon Central. We're ready. Football's back. You can watch football tonight if you are like us and you just want football back in your life. About 3 hours from now. I'm really excited. So,
oh yeah, it's going to be a great time.
2023 season is upon us.
Thanks again for everyone who joined us in chat. It was great to have you here, and I'm sorry about my weird lisp, but you know, I'm real self-conscious about it, but I'm trying. I am trying.
You're doing great, man. We're glad to have you back, too. I know you've been out for a couple of weeks, so it's exciting to have you back.
I'm feeling a lot better. I'm being a lot more active and taking steps towards being good. So I think things are very positive right now.
We're all rooting for you, Adam. We really are.
But thanks again for stopping in. We'll be back next week. We'll talk about what happened during the game against Tampa Bay, and we'll look forward. I don't know if look forward is the right way to say it, but to the game against the Eagles.
Oh,
and
yeah, we'll preview that.
Thanks again, and remember to stay classy, Minnesota.